Yo, how is the quality? Video quality and mic and audio and everything. So it is an English only stream, so I'll just keep it that way. Let me turn on a couple of fuzz, a couple of RGBs. Ah, all right. Voice is low. Is this any better? Is this any better? Yeah. Ah. Oh, camera fix. Okay. Okay. So I'll start with what we are doing today. Okay. So let's begin. Let me set a couple of things before that, all right? Let me know when you're bored enough, okay? Give me a moment. Are you still there, DJ? Let me fix a couple of things before we continue, all right? Hey, Amy, what's up, man? Long time. Very long time. Amy, we do have 3J DJ here. How is it going, man? Unfortunately, it's not a gaming stream. I'm sorry, I need to fix the timing. Was actually it's yeah, yeah. So actually, it's only it's good if we have a lot of people who are together so that we can like play games together. But if everybody shows up, then it's a good thing. Except for that, it's a little boring. So today we are just going to stream about programming, all right? Yeah, it's the same teacher that you know already. Hey, hey DJ, what's the stream quality? I mean, what is the maximum resolution that you can see? Uh, okay, it's 1080p, so it's fine. Okay. Okay, so I'm done with setting up everything. Let me just deploy my machine. Okay. Give me a moment to ready certain things up before we can proceed, all right? Won't take long. Okay. So this is an advanced what should I say? This whatever I'm doing right now requires some advanced skills in programming. Okay. Mm, wait up. All right. So this website is tryhackme.com. All right. So this website is about learning new skills in information security. So we have like a couple of paths which we can choose, and we follow those paths and learn stuff. So by that, what I mean is you can consider them as like five separate courses. Okay, like cyber defense is a course, complete beginner is the course, and the very first course actually that you should proceed with. The third one is offensive pen testing. Pen testing is just a fancy word for penetration testing, which in turn means that, for instance, if your machines are vulnerable, by vulnerable I mean prone to hacking. So penetration testing is something which means that like whether I'll try if I'm trying to pen test your machine, it means that I'll try a couple of things to penetrate into your machine. Okay, by penetration I mean hack into your machine. So it is like hack testing and or like just trying to hack or get into a particular machine. Okay, the fourth path is CompTIA pen test. So CompTIA, you may skip it, but CompTIA is sort of a certified program, certified course which you can take if you want to accomplish in this field. Okay, so it's like any other course. Now, web fundamentals is again sort of like pen testing, but via websites and all. You see, the way you're going to get into a network is via websites mostly. Okay, are you still with me, DJ? And do you understand, or do you have any questions? Okay, so do let me know if you have any questions. I mean, you can ask any question, anything at all. Now let's try to get into a particular course. Okay, do not be like afraid about like these things. They're like super easy. Okay, they do look hard on the surface, but they are not actually. They are like really easy. So let's start with something called, say, the beginner path. This is the beginner path, complete beginner. This is where you start. Okay, so these are a couple of sections in this path. All right, complete beginner introduction, Linux fundamentals, working fundamentals, networking fundamentals, web hacking. All right, so you can consider them as like this entire thing is your, say, coursework. These are like 5 subjects. They are relatively different from each other. Inside these uh, courses, okay, within each course there are a couple of chapters, as you can say. Okay, so these are those chapters on cryptography, Windows fundamental, shells and privilege escalation, basic computer exploitation. Inside each of these what is it like chapters, there are subsections. Okay, so what these subsections are, like these are here, the terminology is that they are called rooms. Rooms, simple rooms. So once you get into the once you click on a particular room and you like get inside it, you are asked to do a couple of things. So what I mean is like, okay, let me know if I'm rushing through, rushing too fast. All right, so let's try this particular room, that is Linux fundamentals part 1. So you see this is from chapter beginner, and this is from subject, you can say, beginner, and Linux fundamentals is a particular chapter. So inside that, like, there's the subsection called Linux fundamentals part 1. So as you can see, so this is exactly like how a coursework would be. There are theoretical aspects to this room and there are practical aspects to this room. So as you can see, this is a brief theory about what what this room is going to be about. Okay, once you click on, like, if you read this, you could just click on this button and it says that, okay, so this section is complete. A bit of background in Linux. Again, this is a theoretical part. Where is Linux used? So these words would sort of make sense to you. Okay, where is Linux used? Flavors of Linux. Okay, what different versions of Linux do we use and all? Okay, yeah. Yes, yes. So you can understand like what this room is trying to say. So this is like from a very basic point of view. These people are just trying to make you understand what is Linux and where is it used and all. Okay. Now at the end of this chapter, near the end of this chapter, okay, there are a couple of tasks you need to do. So it's just like following a book, but it's following a book in a more interactive manner. Okay, for instance, so this is the theoretical theory behind this command called find, if you might have used it inside a Linux machine. So this is the theory behind it, and after you've read this theory, they'll ask you to do to grab, or like to perform a couple of tasks on some files inside a virtual machine. Okay, so I know that okay, so now if you have used a Linux machine, you might have logged in into a Linux machine, and that Linux machine might not be on your local. Okay, so what I mean to say is that it's somewhere out there on cloud. Okay, just like that, exactly like that, you can enter a machine that will be provided by them. Okay, for instance, here they have given me this. When you'll click on the start machine, they'll give you an IP and the credentials to log in into that machine. This is exactly like how you would have you how you would authenticate in your Linux machine, which is somewhere in the cloud. You don't even know where that is. So once you are inside that machine, a machine that is given by these people, these fine people, you can try to complete your assignments. So what the point is that you do need not have Linux to actually finish all the exercises on this room. Okay, what you can do is like just log in into that machine with the credentials that they have given. For instance, yeah, hello, I'm learning hack using Golang by reading the Black Hat Go book. Great, man. Programming is the future. How are you? So once, anyways, so yeah, I'm great, man. Thanks for the heads up. Is it a nice book? So once you try to run a couple of commands, okay, you'll just try to answer a couple of questions which are in this room. For instance, if you have used this command called grep, okay, so you just need to grab a flag or whatever. You just need to grab something in a particular file, and once you have grabbed and followed those instructions successfully, you'll get a certain value. You just need to type in that value. That's all. So you get it right. So this is more like following a particular set of instructions and trying to get a room completed. So this is how you try to keep on accumulating more knowledge by reading theory and then performing a couple of tasks that are provided by them. So we were discussing. All right. So today the agenda is to learn about, say, buffer overflows. We did complete a couple of sections of buffer overflow before. Hold up. Hold up. Okay. So now we need to continue on that front. Uh-huh. So we looked upon NDNS, we looked upon x86 64 architecture procedures, a little bit of those procedures. Now let's get back to like buffer overflow, and that is simply put mostly overwriting variables. Okay, so let's go along. Now that we have looked at all the background information, let's let's explore how the overflows actually work. If you take a look at the overflow one folder, let's run this machine. All right. Black Hat Go. Do you stream as well? Programming is the future. Do you? Ah, so I mean, you recommend this book very strongly. So I mean, are you asking me a question? I mean, please. I don't understand actually. Hello, I'm learning hack using Golang by reading the Black Hat Go book. I mean, are you suggesting the book or you need some help? I'm sorry, I didn't get you. I just want to check out the index of this book. Ah, okay, okay, great, great. So is this great? So is this the first book that you're reading, or what is it? Because I mean, it's actually a nice book. It has all the basic concepts which will be required. Like, yeah. May I suggest you a book? I mean, there is this one incredible book which I really suggest to everyone I know, because it's the best among the really good, among the really a few books which are like really interesting and Uh, I mean, I loved reading that book. If you're interested in hacking and if you know about Python, if you no, not just Python actually. I think if you know C++, yeah, that's better. So just it's called The Art of Exploitation by John Erickson. And believe me, I mean, this book won't disappoint you. If you ever get time, please do. Let's see the index. So it's a relatively intermediate level book, I would say. Oh, what the hell? Ah, it's free online. Okay. Hmm. Jackpot. So it's relatively not a beginner friendly book, I'd say, but it's something which you will honestly love making your way through. It's just amazing, man. The way that they have explained everything in this book, I love it, man. By the way, I'm also planning to have a discussion around the same on my Discord channel. If you want, you can hop in. If you may, if you want to. So just we are at some point. It's the channel is not active as of now, but I have plans for it. So once that is there, we can just I'll just try to uh, maybe have a go at this book during the streams so that people can understand what's going on. Hold up. You hopped in already. Hey, Santos, thanks for joining in. So I'm just planning to have a little more discussion around this on in the programming channel soon. I mean, it's inactive. It's not much active right now, but that is going to change soon. In fact, I'll just what I'll do is actually I tend to forget all these resources that keep piling up. So I'll just make a quick channel on um, Discord where I can add all these resources. You see, so I added your book here because I tend to forget, and I want everybody else to. You send message. No. Okay. I want everybody to know about these. I'll have a go at this book. All right. There's one other book, right? Uh-huh. Okay, so may I ask, Santos, that do you know about Try Hack Me and all? Do you? Oh, great. Do you crack a couple of rooms yourself? Do you? Aha, this is better. Okay, so I'll keep piling up all the resources I have here. I've never done a test on that website. Ah, cool. But if you know what it is, sorry, sorry about that. Okay, so you are already familiar with what this is and what it is all about, right? Hopefully. So I believe that you'll be able to follow along what we are doing here, whatever we are doing here. Programming is the future. I beg to differ actually. Programming is not just the future. Programming is the present as well. Okay, let's. Yeah, that's true. So, what do you do? Are you a student or enrolled in a university, or you work? You are a working professional, or neither, or what is it? Tell me. I- what do you study, man? And where? Which university? I'm just a simple dev looking into hacking so that I can make more secure applications. Okay. So your idea is more around making secure applications instead of like pen testing or cracking secure applications, sort of, right? Studying microservices and that stuff. Okay. So you mean like you are studying computer science, right? Which university is it, if I may ask? I want to know how to hack so that I can prevent. Yeah, sure. It's actually integral to understand the, yeah, for instance, this is exactly a nice, but I'm not in college, I'm finishing the high school. That is a nice start, man. That is actually a really early start, and I really appreciate it, man. Really, that's good that you're trying to look into these things at a very early stage. It's nice. Are you genuinely sort of like are you passionate about these things? What are you passionate about, programming or anything like? Uh, Great, man. Because I personally believe that only passion drives people at such young age. Anyways, I cannot live without it. Hey, again, I usually walk through a couple of people who come to my channel through a couple of projects, a couple of interesting projects that I did. Would you like to take a look? I mean, I love them. A couple of projects that I did. I mean, I really love to showcase them. We want to, yeah, sure. Um, okay, will you just go through the README? That's all. All right. I have a very clear structure of programming and README, of programming, and I write a really nice README, I believe. So these projects are like very easy to follow. I mean, I'm sending you these links because you told me that you are interested in programming as a whole, not to a specific thing as of now. Yes, sure, man. Yes, I did. It is built in assembly. Fascinating, right? I mean, that's why this is the project that is very fascinating, and I love this sort of project. I love it, man. What was this about? Okay. Hey, do let me know if there are some audio or video issues. Okay, most likely there won't be any, but if there are, OMG, are you a god like building game in assembly? No, man, I'm certainly not a god. I'm very mortal. I sliced my finger once, not by myself, but because of something that I did. So I'm barely mortal. Anyways, jokes aside, so no, man, just like you. I'm like really interested in programming, and I'm just a couple of years ahead of you because I'm older than you. That's all. So you and me, we are not very different. I'd say we're not very different. So all I'm trying to say is that yeah, it's fun, man. Right? It's fun writing a game and building a game in assembly. I mean, it was a very basic game, I'd say, but whatever it was just amazing, man. It took me like 1 month, over a month, to develop it. Even developing such a simple game took me over a month, but I really enjoyed it, man. Honestly, I did. I learned a lot of things. I mean, I can't begin to tell how many things I learned around along the process. Indeed, it is very cool. As of now, I don't get much time to complete projects, so I instead invest a lot of my time in. The terminal tool. To be honest, man, let me tell you something. And that something is that I did use Metasploit uh, before writing this tool, but I did not use it extensively. What I mean to say is that I did know that it exists, but I didn't know, I mean, I never used it by myself. I just knew that something like this exists. So, anyways, I just wanted to make something along those lines. Again, it's not feature complete, I'd say. I mean, it certainly cannot beat Metasploit in any aspect. But you see, it looks cool, I'd say. It's really cool. Yeah, it's just amazing. Yeah, whatever works, whatever there is, it certainly works. But ah, that glare. But yeah, it's not feature complete, I'd say. It cannot beat command line utility for pen testing. It doesn't do so much of pen testing that you can actually put it to your use, you see. So it's like a proof of concept that something like this can be built, can be home brewed, I'd say. Yeah. No, man. I wish I was. But to be technically correct, I don't think hacker is a job, but there are like white hat jobs out there. My point being that I'm not a hacker or into in information security officially, but I love information security. Just like you found this book and you started learning it, that's what I'm doing here. I'm learning it, and I think that I'm going at a good pace. I am actually a senior software developer in my company, and yeah, I mean, I have experience with development of professional experience of around 4 years, and personally, I've been developing stuff since over a decade now, I believe. Around a decade, or maybe 8 years, something. I don't know. I just take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, but I'm like really, and I'm an enthusiast. I'm really fascinated with whatever programming can do so many things, man. Anyways, would you like me to elaborate on what we are doing right now? Thanks for the company, though, man. Uh, Usually there aren't many people to hang out with, so I really appreciate the company. Do you want me to explain what somebody followed? Hold on a minute. You followed. Thanks for the follow, man. So, would you like me to explain what I am doing right now, or do you know about C language and all? Great. It's a very beautiful language, I would say. I mean, it's so pretty. It's very beautiful. You'll fall in love with it once you get to know the hang of it. Sure, sure, man. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for dropping by. See ya, man. See, I'll continue with whatever I was doing. Thanks for dropping by, man. Thanks for the company. I really appreciate it. I'll get back to work. Bye bye. Good night. Okay, back to work. This may not be the case, however, the compiler. So if 12-byte array is allocated where the stack is aligned for 16 bytes, this is what the memory would look like. Alright. What is the minimum number of characters needed to override the variable? Of course, we need around at least 17 chars. What the okay, they're trying to say something else. So if a byte is 12, we need 16. Even if the stack goes downwards, when the data is copied into the buffer, it is copied from lower to higher address. Alright. Depending on how data is entered into the buffer, it means that it's possible to overwrite integer variables. From the C code, you can see that the gets function is used to enter data into buffer from standard input. The buffer is dangerous function. The gets function is dangerous because it doesn't really have a length check. That's true. This would mean that you can enter more than 14 bytes of data, which would then override the integer variable. Okay, so buffer, I'm sorry. So we already have the size limit of 14. So of course 15 is going to work. Okay, continuing. For this example, look at the overflow 2 folder inside. You will notice the following C code. Here, similar to the example above, data is read into a buffer using the gets function, but the variable above the buffer is not a pointer to a function. A pointer wait, but the variable above the buffer is not a pointer to a function. A pointer, like its name implies, is used to point to a memory location, and in this case, the memory location is that of a normal function. Sure, the stack is laid out similar to the example above, but this time you have to find a way of invoking the special functions. Maybe use the memory address of the function. Try to invoke the special function in the program. Keep in mind that the architecture of this machine is little endian. Uh, okay. So we overflow the buffer. Okay, let's try to do this. Um, let's try to run this cd overflow to func pointer. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Segmentation fault. 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 5. So this is about 14. Okay, this is the normal function. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. This is the normal function. 1 2 3 4 5 6. What? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3. Okay, this is the normal function. How many digits are these? 10 11 12 13 is also fine. What is not fine is okay. Okay, so this throws segmentation fault. How many digits are these? 14 digits, because we are trying to reach an address. So we need to append it with exactly 4 bytes, is it? So here we go. Okay, so these are like 13 bytes. 9 10 11 12 13 bytes. Now we need to append 4, since it's an integer. 13. What was it? How do we get to know? This is laid out in memory as if so the special function is before the normal function, and the stack fills from lower address to higher address. Invoke the special function. What is the size of this function? How do we check the memory address? Do they have something for a way to check this function? I do know that there is GDB and all to figure out what lies where. How do I know that there was something with GDB, right? GDB machine code. Aha. But I think that this is fairly advanced stuff for our room. The hell is this? Ah. All right. We need to go for a certain hit and run, I would say. Okay. These are 13. Let's add 16 here. 15. Then 14, 15, 16. Implementation fault. What is wrong with this? All right. So today we did not accomplish much in the span of an hour. Likewise, I mean, in the sense of completing rooms, but it's about time to get some nice sleep, have dinner, and prepare for the next day. Prepare for the next day's stream. So, adios. We'll get back and we'll do something about this timing soon. How can we fix this? The issue is the timing is not matching. I'm not getting enough time to complete those rooms. Pace is just luck. The pace is just super slow. Need to spend more hours fixing this problem. Maybe we'll start early tomorrow, or maybe we'll stream for 3 hours tomorrow in the morning. Need to do something, man. Okay, adios for now. Thanks everyone for joining in. Let's just call it a day. Brain has sort of stopped working. Good night, all.